Why is it so hard to change someone's mind? Let's talk about it. If you're new to my channel, I'm of course Rachel, the neuroscientist. The brain really doesn't like changing its mind, and that gives rise to things like the confirmation bias, anchoring bias. Confirmation bias means that we'll actually selectively filter out information that is incongruent with our existing beliefs. Even if we do process that information, we'll give it a lot less weight than we would with something that actually aligns with our existing ideas. Anchoring bias is where we hold on to the very first thing that we learn about something, and it's hard for us to let go of that, even when we're presented with evidence that suggests that it's not accurate. What a terrible design! Why are we like this? Well, neuroscientifically speaking, once you learn something, your brain has to restructure and rewire itself. We also instinctively perceive change, uncertainty, unpredictability as inherently dangerous. Sticking to what's familiar can obviously serve as an evolutionary advantage. The last and perhaps more psychological component of that is that our ideas tend to be tethered to our identity, and the brain really doesn't like threats to identity. Your sense of self involves so many different structures, memories, processes in the brain. To rewrite that would be very complicated, and in the daily struggle for survival, potentially fatal.
The brain doesn't like threats to its identity. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Graham, back with another video. And today we are talking about confirmation bias. Something I wasn't familiar with until I saw this video. But when you listen to it, it sounds eerily similar to the things that we live around every single day and that we're inundated with. She talked about anchoring bias. So essentially, the first time you see something, it anchors into your brain and you believe it or you don't believe it. And then subsequently, anything that comes after that makes it that much harder to overcome your belief of whether you believe it or not, because it's now tied to your identity, and the brain fights against that. Sounds familiar, right, with the media right now? That's why I figured I'd do this video, because there's a lot of crap going on, at least in America right now, a lot of division. We have an election coming up, and you hear it from all sides. You hear it from the left, the right, the middle, and you know, it's just constant feeds into your belief. As she said, that, you know, we inherently seek out the things that we agree with. So it's kind of like YouTube, right? If you keep searching and you're watching these awesome Gen X videos that you see on YouTube, the algorithm's going to feed you more. If you comment on those videos, if you like them, the algorithm's going to feed you more. It reminds me of this one comment I got on the Gen X video that I did. Maybe I'll pop it up on here because I'm not trying to call him out, but he was just like, why do I keep seeing these Gen X videos popping up on my feed? It's getting ridiculous. Well, first of all, it means you've obviously watched a lot of Gen X videos, so YouTube is thinking that you want to see more. And then when you comment on them, whether they're good or bad comment, you are anchoring YouTube to your feed even more to give you more of what you don't want, I guess. So it's no different. The media does the same thing. Everybody, even media on YouTube, whether you're a right-leaning YouTube channel or a left-leaning YouTube channel, I like to keep it neutral. I know we're Gen X, but we're not all on the same side. We have commonality in growing up the way that we did, right? And I think that's a great start. But it's one of those things that if they get their story out first, and most of the time they're wrong because they haven't even waited long enough to hear the story yet, right? So they get the story out, and then it's anchored into their brain, and you cannot overturn it. I mean, we've all dealt with it before, where you're talking with somebody and you're like, I just don't understand how you don't see it. Here's the information, here's the truth, here's the facts. And that person can still be like, I don't believe you. How many of us have done that? I know we've all done it, right? We all have our biases. But we're going to have our biases, yes. But how can we talk to one another to where maybe we can get along when we do it? So take a look at this one.
There's a difference between disagreement and disrespect. And our problem is not a disagreement problem, and a problem isn't a diversity problem. A problem is a disrespect problem. You see, when I disagree with you, we'll talk it out. I mean, we'll just sit there and say, okay. And by the way, we may never come to agreement on it, and that's okay too. So when I disagree with you, we'll talk it out. But if I disrespect you, we won't talk. We'll disagree often, but when we disrespect each other, it puts a wall between us. I'm finding that a lot of people have what I call a confirmation bias. In other words, they seek out to listen to only people they agree with. So there's a confirmation bias, and what we need to have is a collaboration bias. We need to seek out people that are different than us. We need to seek out people that do have a different perspective of us.
So it's the same thing, right? We tend to be in our echo chambers. You're in Facebook groups of people that you agree with. You're on YouTube channels that you agree with. You're in Discords of people that you agree with. So what happens a lot of times is it's not that we can disagree with one another. It's not a diversity issue. It's a disrespect issue. And I agree with that. I know I've lost my shit before and got on some people because I could not get them to see my way. And even though I was right, you see how that works? So we get emotional about it, then we attack one another, and it doesn't do anybody any good. And so that's why we end up in the way that we do. But, then there's those people that may be like, well, I don't have confirmation bias. You're the one that has confirmation bias. So listen to this one.
I have a new favorite bias. It's called the I'm not biased bias. It's the belief that other people have biases, but I'm rational, and I am immune to them. And guess what? The smarter you are, the higher you score on an IQ test, the more likely you are to fall victim to the I'm not biased bias. Which means the more brilliant you are, the worse you are at recognizing your own limitations. I think that's all we have for today. Intelligence is the ability to think and learn. Wisdom is the quality of your judgment.
It's kind of an old phrase that my grandmother used to say is you're too smart for your own good. And when I hear that, I think of the movie Idiocracy, which is an amazing movie, where it shows the hillbilly trailer trash just tearing it up and spitting out all these kids. Then you have the highly educated husband and wife that are finishing up with school, then they're getting their careers established. And there's always these reasons as to why they don't have kids. And then eventually the world is populated with dumb people.
Too many damn kids. Thought you was on the pill or some shit.
Hell no.
Must have been thinking of Brittany.
Brittany? No, you didn't. There's no way we could have a child now. Not with the market the way it is, no.
God, no, that just wouldn't make any sense.
Come on over here, bitch! He don't care about you.
Yeah, well, there must be something he likes over here.
You mean nothing to me, baby? Oh, shit. It wasn't me! It wasn't me!
So stop being too smart for your own good, right? So it's again, there's people out there that are going to watch this and say, well, I don't have any biases. He's wrong. He's the one with the bias. We all have them, but I think we need to go back to, like I said, the other video and learn from one another, not disrespect one another, and see what we can come up with. If you're new to my channel, I like to go and read some comments from previous videos, and this one was from the Gen X, How Messed Up Was Our Childhood, regarding the PSAs. This is my last video. I think it's pretty cool. This gentleman is over in Scotland, which is why I wanted to put his comment up here. I really appreciate you watching. My ancestry is part Scottish, which, on this arm here, I've got the Scottish Rampart and my tartan tattooed into my arm. I am a Graham, Clan Graham of Scotland. And so anyway, it's pretty cool. So he said that I'm a stock taker for Shell. I work mostly night shift. I cannot tell you how many kids turn up at the night window at 1, 2, 3 in the morning, mostly during summer. I mean, I live in Scotland. They're not really in any danger, but still. well, it's good to know that Scotland is not as dangerous. So, but yeah, I mean, we're all guilty of it. When we were kids, we knew which parents, friends were the most loose and forgiving and really didn't give a shit. So we would all go stay the night at their house and then sneak out or just walk out the front door because mom and dad didn't care, and would go get ourselves into mischief that night. But yeah, 1, 2, or 3 in the morning, as they say, there's nothing really good that ever happens after midnight. So thank you for the comment. And so going into to one more here, got to go to the goat of mental control, and that's Anthony Robbins.
Whether you believe it's true or you believe it or not, it's true, because when you believe something's true, you'll find evidence for it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you a little test. Look around this room right now and notice everything you can see that's brown, okay? Everything you can find, it's a test. Look all around, both sides of you, anything you see that's brown. People at home, look at that in your own room. What you see is brown. Okay, close your eyes.
Okay.
Tell me everything you just saw that was red. Now, obviously, you saw a lot more brown, didn't you?
Yeah.
Why? Because you're looking for it. Open your eyes. Now look for red. Look for red anywhere you can find red. Any place you can find red.
Okay.
Okay? Did you find more red this time? How come?
Because I was looking for red.
That's right. Once you develop a belief, you find what supports it. So watch this. You will find stuff that's not even there in order to be successful. I bet you saw some beige shit, called it brown just to feel successful, did you?
Right over there.
I bet you saw some things burgundy and called them red just so you could feel successful.
I factored in some of those now and later.
You see what I'm saying? If you think you're screwed up, you're messed up, you're going to find and you're going to color yourself that way.
Key takeaway there is he says you will find stuff that's not even there to make you feel successful. I think we definitely do that on all sides of the aisle, right? In all walks of life. We will find things that aren't even there to make ourselves feel successful, to make ourselves feel right in what we believe. So going into one last comment, and this one is from the car payment epidemic video that I did a few videos ago. Again, I'll put the thumbnails up here, and then I will always share the links to those videos in the description of this video. So when you're done watching this one, you can go down the rabbit hole and click on my other stuff. This gentleman says, I make a great living, could finance 2 brand new Corvettes if I wanted to. I'll stick with my paid for 2003 Kia Rio S. The S is special because the windows are electric. That's it. And just to sum up that video, it's going into the crazy $1,000, $1,200, $1,300 a month car payments, and how people are going and financing. They're not buying a car, they're buying a payment. But I'm not going to give it all away. You need to go watch the video. So also, I like to end all of my videos with something funny if I can find something that's similar to the subject that we're discussing. And when I first come across this, I thought it was Russell Brand. It's not, but in a funny way, this individual says exactly what I've been trying to say, but obviously a lot funnier.
The way we're going to progress forward into a future of more empathy and understanding for more and more people is to shout fascist, evil fascist at anyone like that side of the line, and then turn to someone inside their own bubble and see if they have a belief that diverges from their own like 1 degree, and then call them out, publicly shame them on the internet. Oh my God, I can't believe you posted a photo of your pedicure when we're meant to be posting black squares. You're not anti-racist. That means you're a racist part of the white supremacy. And this person, of course, they're now in another bubble, and human nature being human nature, they're defining themselves in opposition to those mob, and then they find someone in their bubble who has a belief that diverges from their own 1 degree. I can't believe you still follow J.K. Rowling on Twitter. Pop! I can't believe you said not all men. Pop! I can't believe you used the F slur in your song. Pop, 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 until the whole fucking progressive movement's just bubbles within bubbles within.
Just all bubbles within bubbles within bubbles within bubbles. Anyway, don't know who that guy is. Maybe I'll do. Drop some comments below. Let me know your thoughts on this and what you think, as always. Good, bad, or ugly. It doesn't matter. I like to hear it. If you've stuck around this long, consider giving this video a thumbs up, liking it, and subscribing to my channel, sharing my videos, hitting that bell so you can be notified of my future videos, which come out every Wednesday and every Sunday. So with that said, I appreciate you, and thanks for watching.